Former President Donald Trump is very much in the news this weekend. Frontrunner for the Republican presidential nomination, Mr. Trump was charged with 37 felony counts Friday for illegally keeping classified documents at his Florida estate and blocking government efforts to retrieve them. Robert Costa has a Sunday Journal.
You have seen them for days now, but when you look again, the images are still stunning. Boxes and boxes of documents scattered about Donald Trump's home, stacked in the bathroom, in the ballroom, and spilling out on the floor. They're also evidence in this past week's sweeping indictment of the former president.
We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone.
Special counsel Jack Smith's indictment alleged the boxes contained sensitive and classified documents, knowingly and willfully retained by Trump.
Our laws that protect national defense information are critical for the safety and security of the United States, and they must be enforced.
We've never seen this before, a former president accused of conspiring to obstruct an investigation and even violating the Espionage Act, with possible prison time listed at the end of the 49-page indictment.
Please welcome the next president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
Trump, as ever, was defiant last night.
You're watching Joe Biden try to jail his leading political opponent. Think of it. This is like third world country stuff.
It's just breathtaking. The fact of the matter is that Trump knew that he had secret documents and was flashing them around willy-nilly to people.
Douglas Brinkley, a presidential historian, sees the moment as historic.
There was a cancer growing on the presidency.
But will Americans care about it in the same way they did another scandal 50 years ago this summer?
Mr. Butterfield, are you aware of the installation of any listening devices in the Oval Office of the President?
I was aware of listening devices. Yes, sir.
During Watergate, the whole country seemed transfixed to the hearings up on Capitol Hill. But we now live in a busier age where people live their lives on social media. Do you believe what's happening now with this indictment will actually stick in the American consciousness?
There have just been so many traumas with Donald Trump. This is not CBS, NBC, and ABC of old, where everybody must watch the Watergate hearings. We are divided. People are choosing the kind of news or misinformation they want. And so it seems to me that we've been in a kind of neo-civil war between what might be called the federal establishment and the insurrection of Trump.
In the end, Nixon, of course, resigned. But Trump is running to retake the White House. And while at least one of his Republican opponents, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, has called for him to quit the race because of the indictment,
it's important that we take it seriously.
Many other Republicans are rallying around him.
We're not going to stand for it.
Trump's leading rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, compared Trump's case to that of Hillary Clinton and her email server.
Is there a different standard for a Democrat Secretary of State versus a former Republican president?
Back then, the FBI investigated Clinton, but concluded,
we did not find evidence sufficient to establish that she knew she was sending classified information beyond a reasonable doubt.
If a federal indictment doesn't pull Republicans away from Trump, what would?
Good question. I don't think much. I think Trump will be the nominee.
Stuart Stevens is a veteran presidential campaign strategist who worked for Mitt Romney's presidential campaign in 2012 and has since become a Trump critic.
Will it be possible for any Trump rival to get political oxygen in the coming months?
I think the way you would get political oxygen is to attack Donald Trump. This race is about Donald Trump. You're not going to succeed by trying to be a pale imitation of Donald Trump.
Wasting no time after the indictment was unsealed, Trump was posting pleas for donations on his Truth Social website.
Could this indictment lead to a fundraising boon for the former president?
Yeah, Donald Trump is going to raise a lot of money out of being indicted. You know, he may lose some of his high-end super PAC donors who don't want to be associated with the guy who's under multiple indictments in multiple states. But his small donor fundraising is going to go crazy.
President Biden has remained largely silent on the indictment and on Trump, who's been on the road and on the golf course. And on Tuesday, Trump will appear before a federal judge in Miami. Historian Douglas Brinkley.
What does this all mean for America?
The good news right now is that our system is working, that nobody is above the law, that Donald Trump, once he lost the power of the White House, is simply an American citizen, and he has to face the justice system the way every tax-paying citizen does.